Evacuees fleeing the military coup in Niger arrive in Europe as West African leaders demand President Bazoum is reinstated.
Turkey's president urges Russia to renew grain deal with Kyiv as a Ukrainian city is struck by a drone, damaging 44,000 tons of grain.
Pope Francis has blasted Portugal's Catholic Church leaders for the clergy sex abuse scandal as he kicks off his visit for World Youth Day.
And mud has taken the shine off the largest metal music festival in the world. Germany's Walk-In Festival has limited the number of people attending after non-stop rain.
A plane carrying around 100 people fleeing Niger arrived in Rome on Wednesday aboard a special flight organised by the Italian government. Among them, Nigerians, Italians and other nationalities fleeing the coup that overthrew the democratically elected president last week. Passengers on an evacuation flight from Niger have also landed in Paris. France has chartered planes to rescue some 600 people wishing to be repatriated and other foreign nationals. Meanwhile, West African heads of state continue to apply pressure on Niger's military junta. ECOWAS leaders have not ruled out the use of force against the coup leaders if they don't restore power to the civil authorities. Niger's coup leaders have the support of Mali and Burkina Faso. The neighbouring countries, which are also governed by the military, warn that any armed intervention in Niger would be considered a declaration of war against them. The Nigerian junta, which accuses France of wanting to intervene militarily, has sent an emissary to Mali, also a former French colony, to analyse the situation.
In a telephone conversation, Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has urged his Russian counterpart to renew the UN-brokered grain export agreement with Ukraine, referring to it as a bridge of peace. Russia quit the agreement that allowed Ukrainian boats carrying grain a safe passage in the Black Sea last month.
Россия готова незамедлительно вернуться к самой сделке, не только переговорам, но и самой сделке. Незамедлительно готова сделать. Просто сделка должна быть реализована в той части, которая касается Российской Федерации. До сих пор этого сделано не было, как вы знаете.
The U.S. is also reporting that Moscow is ready to return to the negotiation table.
We have seen indications that they might be interested in returning to discussions, so we will wait to see whether that actually happens.
Moscow has aggressively targeted Ukrainian ports and grain infrastructure since it withdrew from the deal. On Wednesday, a drone hit a port city along the border with Romania, sparking a huge fire at key facilities and damaging some 44,000 tons of grain.
Flowers, military honours and much applause in a delicate visit to Portugal by Pope Francis. The leader of the Catholic Church has come to Lisbon to participate in World Youth Day, an event expected to be attended by 1 million pilgrims. In the first of the 5-day tour, the Pope asked Europe to do more to bring peace to Ukraine.
Guardando con accorato affetto all'Europa nello spirito di dialogo che la caratterizza, verrebbe da chiedere verso dove navighi se non offri percorsi di pace, vie creative per porre fine alla guerra in Ucraina e ai tanti conflitti che insanguinano il mondo?
The Pope also blasted Portugal's Catholic Church leaders for the clergy sex abuse scandal. A panel of experts reported in February that priests and other personnel may have abused at least 4,815 boys and girls since 1950. The Church needs a humble and constant purification, the pontiff said.
Donald Trump has been charged by the US Justice Department for his efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. The charges include conspiracy to defraud the United States government and witness tampering. It's the third criminal case brought against the former president as he seeks a second term in the White House. The indictment document is 45 pages long. Among the four major charges, obstruction of an official proceeding carries up to 20 years in prison. The criminal case is especially stunning as it accuses Trump of assaulting the underpinnings of democracy in his frantic and ultimately failed effort to cling to power.
In this case, my office will seek a speedy trial so that our evidence can be tested in court and judged by a jury of citizens. In the meantime, I must emphasize that the indictment is only an allegation and that the defendant must be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law.
Trump has been summoned to appear before a judge in court in Washington, D.C. on Thursday. He already faces charges brought by Smith's team over alleged mishandling of classified documents in Florida. Trump also faces trial in New York for falsifying business records in hush money payments to an adult film star. Good news for NASA after it detected a heartbeat signal from its Voyager 2 probe. The spacecraft has been exploring the universe since 1977. But mission controllers lost contact with it over a week ago after sending a faulty command that tilted its antenna to point 2 degrees away from Earth. As a result, the probe, which is currently some 20 billion kilometers from Earth, stopped receiving commands or sending data. But the signal received on Tuesday has reassured the space agency that it's still functioning. August the 2nd marks Earth Overshoot Day. It's the date in any given year on which humanity has used up its annual allowance of vital natural resources like water. Since the 1970s, the trend has seen this day arrive earlier each year. It means humanity's demand on ecological resources exceeds what the Earth can regenerate. The foundation behind the concept measures the rate at which crops, livestock, fish and forest products are being depleted.
We mark a number of days in the year. Christmas, national holidays, etc. Probably the most meaningful one is Earth Overshoot Day, because it reflects a reality. It's not just an artificial day. So we can calculate how much can be regenerated in a given country and then add it up to the world. We can also calculate it on the consumption side. We can look at how much is being consumed in each country.
To reverse the trend, campaigners say humanity needs to phase out fossil fuels as a starting point. And the responsibility lies not just with governments. The Global Footprint Network says with 7 billion people on the planet, we can all help by reducing our individual consumption of precious resources.
Italy were knocked out of the Women's World Cup after conceding a late goal against South Africa in Wellington on Wednesday. Thembi Kgatlana scored in the dying minutes of the game to hand South Africa a stunning 3-2 win. They'll lock horns with Group E winners the Netherlands on Sunday. Meanwhile, Sweden outclassed Argentina to set up a thrilling last 16 clash with the USA. In Group F, Jamaica defied the odds by dumping Brazil out of the competition. It was a tense affair in Melbourne, which ended with a goalless draw, enough to see Jamaica advance to the knockout phase. They finished second in the group behind France, who thumped Panama 6-3 thanks to a hat-trick from Kadi Diani. Former Italy goalkeeper Gianluigi Buffon has retired from football at the age of 45 after an impressive 28-year career. The shot-stopper's accolades include a World Cup, 10 Serie A titles with Juventus and 1 Ligue 1 title with Paris Saint-Germain. Buffon's remarkable journey started when he joined Juventus from Parma in 2001. He made a record 657 appearances in Italy's top flight and 176 for the national side, making him the country's most capped player ever.
The U.S. singer Lizzo is being sued by 3 of her former dancers who accuse her of numerous charges, including sexual, religious, and racial harassment, disability discrimination, assault, and false imprisonment. The Grammy winner, whose real name is Melissa Vivian Jefferson, has garnered a global reputation for body positivity and songs addressing mental health. The civil lawsuit also targets her production company and her dance team for allegedly creating a hostile work environment. Lizzo has not yet commented on the lawsuit. The mud has taken the shine off the largest metal music festival in the world. The Walk in Open Air Festival in Germany has been forced to reduce the number of people attending the event after heavy rain turned the ground to sludge. Around 50,000 people made it into the festival before organizers stopped admissions, a drop from the 85,000 people who had bought tickets and were expected to attend.
Die Stimmung ist vielleicht etwas feucht, aber im Allgemeinen würde ich sagen, dennoch relativ gut. Also man macht das Beste draus.
Und gerade als wir aufgebaut haben, kam dann die Nachricht, dass keine Autos mehr anreisen dürfen. Und wir dachten so, oh mein Gott, wie viel Glück haben wir eigentlich, dass wir jetzt noch auf den Platz gekommen sind.
Traffic jams around the festival were largely cleared out by Wednesday morning after many fans turned back or sought alternative camping sites. Those who remain try their best to enjoy the 150 metal bands scheduled to play throughout the festival. Despite the 40 liters per square meter of water that fell in a span of just 24 hours.